The people who attended the mourning ceremony consoled the bereaved woman and her daughter one by one, then left the home. A man went forward, looked at the girl's face, then turned to the woman, put his hand on hers, and said, "If you need money, you know my phone number." "You obliged my husband and me. I will, thank you," the woman said. The man left them and went to his car. As the man approached the car, the girl watched him suspiciously. The man got into the car and drove away. "Who was that man?" the girl asked her mother. When she finished, she said, "From tomorrow, I must find a second job. We have a lot of debt that needs to be paid," and added, "There is nothing left in the bank account." "I can find a part-time job too," the girl said. "You should focus on your studies. It is my responsibility to pay off the debt," her mother responded. Then she said, "Get up. The home has become so messy, we have to clean it up." A month elapsed, and the woman still hadn't found a second job. The girl returned home from school and shouted at the door. "Is your mother home?" the man asked. "No, she is not," the girl replied. He entered the home, went straight to a chair, and sat down. "When will she be back?" "I don't know." "What do you want from my mother?" the girl questioned. "I want to talk to her," he said, adding, "I will wait for her." Minutes passed without a word between them. Then the man broke the silence and asked, "Do you work or study?" "Study," the girl responded. "How old are you?" the man asked. "Almost 18 years old," the girl answered. "Are you my father's friend?" the girl questioned. The man was about to answer when the door opened and the woman appeared. The man rose, went to the woman, and slowly said, "The money hasn't been reimbursed into my account yet." "I am really sorry, I need more time," she said. "1 month is okay?" the man asked. "You oblige me. I promise to reimburse the money within a month to your account," the woman said. "Very well, just 1 month, not more," the man said. "I really appreciate you," she said. The man went to the door and the woman followed him. When he left, she shut the door behind him, then turned back to her daughter standing nearby. "What money were you talking about?" the girl asked. The woman avoided the question and, as she went to her bedroom, said, "I am thinking of moving to your grandfather and grandmother's house. Now that your father is no longer with us, I think it's not a good idea to stay here." Then she turned, looked around deeply, and added, "What do you think? Do you agree with me?" The girl refrained from asking any more questions and just said, "Yes, it is a quite good idea." The next day, the woman advertised in local newspapers to sell their home. She thought it was the best solution to pay off the debts. Days passed, and the woman still couldn't find a buyer for the home. A day before the month was over, she was talking on the phone when the doorbell rang. She opened the door, and her daughter appeared. The mother indignantly said, "Where have you been? Why did you get back from school late? Don't you think I become worried?" The girl entered without answering, went straight to her room, and her mother followed her. She entered the room and shut the door. The mother came in too and said, "You don't have a key?" The girl remained silent. The mother sat on the bed and asked, "What has happened?" The girl said, "Nothing. We are a family. If we face any difficulty, we must discuss it with each other," the mother said. "Are you sure we are a family?" the girl questioned. "Positively," the woman replied. "I have a few guests and probably I will marry tomorrow," the girl said. "Did I hear you right? You want to marry tomorrow?" the mother asked. "Yes, you heard right. Call my grandparents. I want them to be at my wedding," the girl responded. "With whom? How long have you known him?" the mother questioned. "You will get the answers to your questions tomorrow. By the way, don't forget to call my grandparents," the girl responded. The mother was shocked and gazed at her daughter, saying, "You haven't even turned 18 yet. How do you want to marry?" "Please leave me alone. I am so tired. I want to sleep," the girl replied. The woman got up and left the girl. When her mother left, the girl went to the bead container, picked it up, looked at it, kissed the container, and put it back. The next day, the guests arrived one by one, including her grandparents. The woman asked them to talk to her. Despite their efforts to dissuade the girl from her decision, it was useless. All the guests were in the living room, waiting for the groom. The girl donned a pretty dress and came out of her room with the bead container in one hand and a pen and paper in the other. She welcomed the guests, placed the bead container, the paper, and the pen on the table, and waited for the groom, like the rest. Some time passed when the doorbell rang. The girl opened the door and a man stepped in. The girl said to the guests, "I might marry this man today." "Are you crazy? Stop this ridiculous game," her mother said. She went to the man and said, "You can't marry her. I won't allow you." The girl pointed to the table and said to the man, "Write down on the paper whatever you told me." The man went to the table, sat down, and began to write. When he finished, the girl asked the guests to sign it. Then she said to the man, "Each of us should choose one bead. I choose pink, and it means if I take out the pink bead, I won't marry you." The man said, "I choose the red bead, and if you take it out of the bag, you will marry me." The girl's mother shouted, "No, no, you can't marry her. I won't let you. You have no right to marry her." The man threw the beads into the bag. The girl's mother tried to snatch the bag from his hand, but the girl moved toward her mother and restrained her. Then she told the man, "I am ready." The man shook the bag of beads and requested the girl to take out one bead. She dipped her hand into the bag and took out a bead. So, dear readers, what do you think? Will she marry the man? Okay, let's continue the story. A bead was taken out but fell into the bead container. The man said, "We have to draw again." "No need. There is one bead left in the bag. You take it out. If the bead is red, it means I picked up the pink one, and I won't marry you. But if the bead in the bag is pink, I will marry you," the girl said. The guests confirmed her words, and the man accepted reluctantly. He took out the bead, and it was red. The girl quickly picked up the paper and told the man, "We can't marry. You dropped it." The man got up indignantly and left the home. You listened to the story. What do you think? Did the girl cheat? Well, let's listen to the rest of the story. When the man left, the girl turned to the guests and said, "You might think that I am crazy, but before judging me, I want to tell you why I wanted you to be here today. You all know well that my father had cancer and was hospitalized. I saw the man who I wanted to marry 3 times. The first time when he attended the morning, the second time when he came here to talk about the money, and the third time yesterday. Yesterday, when I was on my way home, a car halted near me. 2 men got out, and they told me a man wanted to see me. I went with them. I was taken to a home and was told to wait for the homeowner. When he came, I recognized him. He was the man I had seen before. He told me that he had paid a huge sum to my mother because she needed it to pay the hospital. As the girl wiped her tears, she continued, "The man told me that my mother couldn't pay the money and its interest even if she sold the house. He proposed that we draw beads. If I win, he will forgive the debts, and I won't marry him. But if he wins, he will marry me and seize the home." Then she added, "If I didn't accept his proposal, he would jail my mother." Her mother stepped up, kissed her daughter, and said, "You are lucky the bead fell down." The girl smiled and said, "When he picked up the beads, I suddenly noticed that he chose 2 red beads instead of 1 red and 1 pink. I deliberately threw the bead into the bead container." Then the girl handed the paper to her mother and said, "He wrote down what I said on the paper, and the people signed it. He will never bother you again."